Back to fight week in beautiful Monte Carlo here in the Principality of Monaco. Tomorrow night it is the 6th instalment of the Monte Carlo Showdown. 5 great fights coming your way on DAZN, of course headlined by the European title clash between Shabaz Masoud and Peter Mcgrail. Conor Walker versus Pat McCormack, Sean McCowan versus Hugo Micallef, Beatrice Ferreira versus Alif Turhan in that thriller for the world title. And of course the return of the Romford Bull, Mr. Johnny Fisher, and some of his fans have made the trip over to Monte Carlo this week and making themselves heard here at the weigh-in this afternoon. Jamie Ward here alongside me as always, former IBF World Middleweight Champion, Mr. Darren Barker. And look, Darren, we like to give you plaudits on these preview shows because you did just about you did just about everything you can do in a professional boxing ring. You also won the British and Commonwealth middleweight titles, as did this man very recently, the reigning British and Commonwealth middleweight champion, Mr. George Liddell. George, great to see you over to support your new stablemate, Johnny Fisher. How's he looking and how's he settled in over the last few weeks in the Tony Sims gym?
Yeah, it's Johnny's first fight, obviously, out of our gym. Very excited to see what he's going to do Saturday night. I think it's going to be the Romford Bull 2.0. You know, I think Tony's been doing great things with him in the gym. Obviously, I've been away a little bit the last month, so I've not seen the final touches, but I have no doubt Johnny's going to be in the best shape of his life come Saturday.
George, back down to earth yet? Career best win, Kieran Conway, that was special. How are you feeling?
Oh, mate, not quite back down to earth yet. Nah, listen, I'm excited for what's to come. It's always what's next for me. I can't wait, you know. This just puts me in bigger position for bigger fights in 2026, so I can't wait. British and Commonwealth champion. It feels good.
Sounds good as well and suits you. And coming off a domestic clash like that against Kieran Conway, you look at the fights on offer as well here, George, tomorrow night in Monte Carlo. Peter Mcgrail versus Shabaz Masoud, Conor Walker versus Pat McCormack. What are your thoughts on both of those collisions?
There's nothing like a good domestic tear-off, is there? I'm really excited for both of them. Conor Walker v Pat McCormack, what a fight we got there. Honestly, tough one to call for both sides. You know, I think Pat's an excellent boxer, but Conor Walker's one of these. He's going to be in his face all night. So I'm excited to see how that goes. And obviously the Shabaz Masoud, Peter Mcgrail, another big domestic fight. Again, really hard to call. These 50-50 domestic fights for me are some of the best fights you can watch. You know, obviously you've got the big name fights, but this right here, this is what boxing is.
He fits in Monte Carlo, doesn't he?
Yeah, the chain, the hair. Yeah, he looks good.
I can't remember gym gear. You could have told me.
Could have dressed up for the occasion right enough. But just finally, George, before we do get on with the weigh-in, look, I know you're a gentleman. You're not one to necessarily stand here and call fighters out. But look, you're hot property now in this middleweight division. This is your platform live on DAZN. Some of the names that have maybe been floated to you, who do you fancy next year?
I'm hearing some decent names in the pipeline. There's a couple of people have been saying, there's a couple of Liams. You've got Liam Williams, Liam Smith. People have been... I've heard a couple of people saying things like that. But listen, I just want the best fights I can get. I'm only 23. You know, I've got plenty of time, but I'm here for big domestic fights. You know, I'm here for big domestic fights, and in the future, you know, I'd love some smoke with Ammo Williams. Let's get that in the future for sure.
George Liddell versus Liam Smith.
Oh yeah, sign me up.
Sign me up, indeed. Okay, George, great to see you. Wish you all the best next year. Certainly, really a massive year in the career of the Billericay Bomber, Mr. George Liddell. Let's press on with the weigh-in then. 5 fights to make official here this afternoon in Monaco. Your MC is David Diamante.
Mesdames et messieurs, bon après-midi et bienvenue à Salle des Étoiles, ici in la Principauté de Monaco, pour le pesée officiel de notre grande soirée de boxe professionnelle, c'est samedi soir. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Salle des Étoiles here in Monte Carlo, Monaco, for the official weigh-in for our big night of World Championship Professional Boxing taking place here this Saturday night. And it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored on the night by Société des Bains de Mer, Le Casino de Monte Carlo, Drip, Riyadh Season, That Prize Guy, and Everlast. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, all the action will be telecast live around the world exclusively on the home of boxing, DAZN. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring the fighters up to the stage so they can face the scale and face each other. Our first contest, 10 rounds for the IBF European Super Lightweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage, his professional record, 20 victories, 2 defeats with 5 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Belfast, Northern Ireland. Please welcome the public nuisance, Sean McComb. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. His professional record, absolutely perfect. 11 fights, 11 victories with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the French Prince of Monaco, fighting out of Monte Carlo, Monaco, Hugo Mcgrail. Now to the scale, Sean McComb. $139.7 for Sean McComb, 139.7. And now to the scale, the Fresh Prince of Monaco, Hugo Mcgrail. 138.9 for Hugo Mcgrail, 138.9.
Hugo Mcgrail versus Sean McComb then opens the action over 10 rounds, 7 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. in the UK, live on DAZN. Full of confidence is Hugo Mcgrail. What an opportunity for him, the Fresh Prince of Monaco, from right here in the Principality.
Mcgrail versus McComb, 10 rounds for the IBF European Super Lightweight Championship. Natural boxing in association with Top Rank and GBM, live on DAZN from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Yeah, he wants to take this opportunity with both hands tomorrow night, Darren Hugo Mcgrail, but stylistically, Sean McComb is a nightmare and a hard night's work for anyone.
Didn't we hear someone call him the chairman of the Who Needs Him game?
That's a compliment, by the way.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, very good fighter. Long, rangy, awkward, but can fight very, very well.
Okay, back to David.
Okay, thank you, Jamie. Our next contest, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go 12 rounds for the WBA International and the IBF Intercontinental Welterweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage, please welcome his professional record perfect, 8-0, 6 knockouts. He fights out of Washington in the northeast of England, the two-time Olympian and the former WBA Intercontinental Welterweight Champion, Pat McCormack. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. Professional record, 16 victories, 3 defeats, 1 draw, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Wolverhampton, please welcome the reigning British welterweight champion, Conor the Wolf Walker. Now to the scale, Pat McCormack. $147, bang on the welterweight limit for Pat McCormack, 147. Now to the scale, Conor the Wolf Walker. 146.9 for Conor Walker, 146.9.
You just joked to me there, Darren, saying, is this the running order? Unbelievably, the second fight on the card tomorrow night is this one, Conor Walker versus Pat McCormack. There was a shove yesterday in the face-off. What a fight this is, Darren, and as we say, unbelievably, second fight on the card.
Contrasting styles, this has it all, it really does. You've got the workhorse, the non-stop force, the physically strong Conor Walker versus the stylistically spot-on, quick Pat McCormack. Great fight, Jamie.
For the WBA International and the IBF Intercontinental Welterweight Championship, live on DAZN from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Yeah, ring walk's expected around 7 p.m. UK time. British champion Conor Walker. How good is Pat McCormack? Is it too soon? Is Conor too tough? Does this all come down to levels? That's what Pat McCormack thinks anyway. All the questions answered tomorrow night. We proceed back to David Diamante.
Our next contest, 10 rounds, heavyweights. Making his way to the stage at this time, professional record perfect, 7-0, with 5 wins coming by way of knockout. He fights out of Prague, Czech Republic. Please welcome Ivan Balaja. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. 13-1, 11 knockouts. Here is the all-power, all-heart fan favorite, the pride of Romford, Essex, England, the Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher. Now to the scale, Ivan Balaja. 231.75 for Balaja, 231.75. Now to the scale, the Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher. $240.7 for Johnny Fisher, 240.7.
Yeah, 240.7 for Johnny Fisher was 245 for the Dave Allen rematch in May. Speaking to him yesterday, Darren focused on just getting the job done tomorrow night, asserting the Romford Bull attitude in front of his travelling support from the opening bell tomorrow on DAZN.
Yeah, is this Johnny Fisher 2.0, new team, fresh start? Still learning on the job, but there's an awful lot to work with. This travelling support
Johnny
is exceptional.
Fisher versus Ivan Balaja, 10 rounds, heavyweights, matchroom boxing, live on DAZN from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Yep, the Bull Army making themselves heard here at this afternoon's weigh-in. Over 100 of them have made their way over to Monte Carlo for the return of the Romford Bull, Mr. Johnny Fisher, third fight on the card tomorrow night. Back to David, world title action also on the card tomorrow night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to weigh in. The world title bout that we have is Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 10 rounds for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the world. Now making her way to the stage, please welcome the challenger. The professional record is perfect. 11 fights, 11 victories, with 7 of her 11 wins coming by way of knockout. She fights out of Istanbul, Turkey. Here is the WBC International and WBA Gold World Super Featherweight Champion. She is the Golden Turkish Warrior, Elif Nur Turhan. Nur Turhan. And now making her way to the stage, please welcome the defending world champion. Her professional record also perfect. 8 fights, 8 victories, with 2 of them coming by way of knockout. Tomorrow night, Saturday, she'll be making her 4th defense of her world title, fighting out of Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. Please welcome the 2020 Olympic silver medalist and the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF lightweight champion of the world, Beatriz the Beast Ferreira. Ferreira. Now to the scale, the challenger, the Golden Turkish Warrior, Elif Nur Turhan. $134.35 for Elif Nur Turhan. 134.35 pounds. And now the defending world champion, Beatriz the Beast Ferreira. 134.6 for Beatriz the Beast Ferreira. 134.6.
We've been saying all week, Darren, when you look at the two styles, surely this one just cannot disappoint. Be it all action, Elif, a massive puncher. Ferreira's told us at Media Day, but I will not stand in front of Elif Turhan in the way that she'll want me to in this fight. Could it be brains before brawn for Bea in this fight?
It could be, but both vicious fighters, both heavy punchers, are both extremely confident they'll get their arm raised tomorrow night.
Beatriz the Beast Ferreira, Elif Nur Turhan, 10 rounds for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World. Matchroom Boxing live on DAZN from Monte Carlo, Monaco.
Yep, 2-time Olympic medalist, now IBF World Lightweight Champion Beatriz Ferreira. Elif Turhan, the Golden Turkish Warrior, 11-0 with 7 knockouts. Your chief support tomorrow night, only on DAZN. Live from Monte Carlo, and of course the chief support, as always, leads us in nicely to the main event. Back to David.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome everybody here to the Salle des Etoiles in Monte Carlo, Monaco, for a big night of World Championship professional boxing. And it's now time to weigh in the main event of the evening. as Mr. Eddie Hearn from Matchroom Boxing is proud to present 12 rounds for the European Super Bantamweight Championship. Now making his way to the stage, he's a southpaw with a record of 12 victories, only 1 defeat, 6 wins coming by way of knockout. He represents the Everton Red Triangle Club. He's ranked number 7 in the world by the WBA, proudly fighting out of Liverpool, England. Here is the reigning WBA International Super Bantamweight Champion, Peter Blood Mcgrail. Mcgrail. And his opponent now making his way to the stage. Professional record perfect. 14-0, 4 knockouts. He fights out of Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire, England. Here is the reigning IBO Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Shabaz, the Maverick Masoud. Masoud. Now to the scale, Peter Blood Mcgrail. .121.7 for Peter Blood Mcgrail. 121.7 for the Southpaw Scouser. 121.7. And now to the scale, the undefeated Shabaz, the Maverick Masoud. .121.9 for Shabaz, the Maverick Masoud. 121.9.
Both sides of the main event, Darren, weighing in inside that super bantamweight limit. A few words, let's listen in. Main event tomorrow night, 2 top operators, European Super Bantamweight title on the line. Huge upside for the winner here, targeting a shot at world honours next year. Shabaz Masoud, Peter Mcgrail, Monte Carlo showdown live only on DAZN. Final questions, Darren Barker?
Oh, I love this fight, I really do. Stylistically, in some ways similar. Quick hands, quick feet. Their IQ's fantastic.
Shabaz Masoud, Peter Mcgrail, 12 rounds for the European Super Bantamweight Championship. Matchroom Boxing, live on DAZN from Monte Carlo, Monaco. Main event tomorrow night.
Well, so much to look forward to tomorrow night here from Monte Carlo on DAZN. But it's not just the fights. Make sure you check out all there is to offer on the DAZN platform as well.
The Locker Room, the new home of DAZN's boxing content. All your big hitters, all in one place.
I am not going to stop until I am pulled off of this guy.
The Locker Room takes you further than the ring.
Daniel, don't disrespect me. Daniel, don't disrespect me. I'll put this shirt.
Where rivals collide before the bell.
I personally think you're a bit of a don't really like you.
Where legends are eternalised.
Welcome on board the rivalry line.
And prospects rise.
I do not want to be average. I fear being average.
More exclusive content than ever before.
Look at that blood. You remember what's coming.
Welcome to Inside the Ring, boxing's official show of record. I'm your host, Max Keller.
Where boxing lives, breathes, and never stops.
I never thought being with Matchroom I'd be doing stuff like that.
Weekly content from all your favourite creators, promoters, and influencers. The Locker Room, only on DAZN, the global home of boxing.
Yep, joined now just off stage by promoter Eddie Hearn. Eddie, what a card. I mean, Darren was just saying he can't believe that the second fight on the card is that one between Pat McCormack and Conor Walker. When you look at the card as a whole, how special is this one?
Yeah, it's so difficult to decide a running order. I mean, that's, you know, obviously you've got the trainers who have 2 fighters, Ben Davison, who has Masoud and also has Pat McCormack, so we had to give them a little bit of time in the middle. Johnny Fisher with his massive following, the World Championship fight. I think the best fight in female boxing, one of, that can get made. Even Sean McComb against Hugo Mcgrail, massive support for the local Monegasque fighter. It's a huge risk for him. This is just an absolutely perfect fight card. And you know what, when you wake up in the morning, people that know this is now ceremonial weigh-in because we bring the weigh-in forward to the morning now to improve the safety for the fighters. When you get that text in the morning with all the weights on it and everyone's absolutely bang on, and then you see them in that kind of physical condition, you know you got one of the best fight cards of the year this Saturday in Monaco, and I can't wait.
I want to pick out one of the fights there, the one I was surprised at being second on, Pat McCormack, Conor Walker. He's got it all. What a fight that is.
It has, and Pat looked big. I mean, you know, Conor Walker's never going to be the biggest 147-pounder, but McCormack looked huge in there. And really, this is, everyone knows what's going to happen in this fight. Pat McCormack is going to outbox Conor Walker. Now, will Conor Walker get to him? You know, will he take him to the trenches? Has Pat McCormack got the chin? Has he got what it takes to go through those trenches with the small gloves on against someone like Conor Walker? The perfect thing about this fight, we're going to find out everything we need to know about Pat. Two of our boys, both getting paid well, made a best man win, roll the dice, and that's what we love to see. You know, this fight card is littered with big risk. It's littered with opportunities that most fighters actually wouldn't take, or their management teams wouldn't take, and that's what I love about it. You know, everybody's here to gamble, everybody's here to try and go to the next level to improve their career. And by the way, if you lose in a fight like this, you can come again. That's what I said to, you know, Conor Walker's team and stuff like that. You lose in this fight, you come again, you come again. But obviously everyone gunning for the victory on what will be a special night.
What are your final thoughts on Masoud Mcgrail in the main event?
But I mean, Peter Mcgrail looked in unbelievable condition there. We know the skills of Masoud as well. Two great fan bases from Stoke and Liverpool. They're going to make plenty of noise in there. I just think it's a brilliant fight. You know, people talk about the two master boxers, but I think it's going to heat up very quickly, this fight. You know, both have very fast hands, both like to move in and out at speed. You see Mcgrail, people thought he was going to be a defensive fighter coming into the pros. He's been very aggressive. Maybe he might switch that up tomorrow. I don't know. I think you'll get a few very high IQ rounds early. Then I just think he'll explode into a domestic classic. But just a phenomenal card.
And winner very, very close then to a world
I mean, look, you've got
title
Nair Inoue has all the belts, but you know the mandatories are going to come, and maybe at some stage he's going to move up. So when you talk about the most exciting fighters in the world at 122 pound right now, beyond Nair Inoue, this could be a fight for it. So huge opportunity, European title on the line, bragging rights on the line, huge domestic fight, but one with massive World Championship ramifications as well.
Final one on this card, the Bull Army. They're not bad, are they?
It's a tough fight for Johnny. You know, I mean, look, a late opponent, 7-0 with limited experience, but we've seen, you know, from the clips, he's quite awkward at times. He can punch a little bit as well. He's got decent sort of European-style heavyweight feet in and out. And to come back after this fight, after the Dave Allen defeat, there's a lot of pressure on Johnny Fisher. But, you know, I think just be composed in there. He said he wants to get his aggressiveness back. Just take your time, pick your shots, break this guy down. You don't want to be jumping in, taking chances. This guy will hit you with shots. We're seeing, you know, you were talking about the clip, the left hook, uppercut. You know, he's got those long arms. He can punch a bit as well. He's 7-0. He's coming here to completely change his life and set himself up in the heavyweight division. Tough fight for Johnny Fisher, but come through this and big plans for the spring.
Don't go anywhere, Eddie, because we've got a few more things we want to speak to you about. For those at home, though, let's just give you a little final reminder of the order of play tomorrow night from the Salle des Etoiles here in Monte Carlo, Monaco, of course. 7 p.m. local time, 6 p.m. back home in the UK, live on DAZN. Hugo Mcgrail versus Sean McComb, IBF European Super Lightweight title over 10 rounds. Then the cracker, Conor Walker, the British welterweight champion, faces Pat McCormack, the acid test for the Olympic silver medalist in his 9th professional contest. Then, of course, the return of the Romford Bull, Johnny Fisher, who faces Ivan Balaz over 10 rounds in boxing's blue ribbon division in the chief support. Do not blink in this one, because if you do, you may well miss it. Beatrice Ferreira, two-time Olympic medalist, IBF World Lightweight Champion, defends her crown against the golden Turkish warrior Elif Turhan, who is 11-0 with 7 knockouts, by the way. And, of course, the main event. We finally see it. European Super Bantamweight title on the line. As Eddie said, huge world title ramifications in that Super Bantamweight division for the winner. Shabaz the Maverick Masoud versus Peter Blood Mcgrail, your main event. Live from Monaco, only on DAZN. Eddie, saw you doing an interview with Mr. Conor Benn, who is over here in Monte Carlo enjoying life after his big victory over Chris Eubank Jr. And big news for him as well, WBC #1. What were you saying in that interview over there?
Just an interview with Adam Smith, just talking about the future. As I said, he has an obsession with the WBC Championship because it's something that his dad was extremely proud of when he won it. You know, you've just seen Conor Benn get one up on Nigel Benn by defeating the Eubanks. Although, what a bounce back from Nigel Benn with a straight induction into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, he must have just gone, Conor, you see that one? You know, that's something special. So, exactly, yeah. So I think now it's about legacy for Conor Benn. He's made the money. He's done the massive stadium shows. Now he wants to go out and become a world champion. You've got great champions, Crocker, Romero, but he's really dialed in on that WBC world title, and His Excellency talked about the possibility of facing Ryan Garcia at Cinco de Mayo. That would be a wild event in Las Vegas. You know, Wembley Stadium now, he's a huge star of British boxing. So the future is incredibly bright.
When you look at UK stars that Matchroom are representing right now, aside from Anthony Joshua and, of course, outside of Matchroom, Tyson Fury, in terms of the biggest names in British boxing, Ben Whittaker, Conor Benn, what do you believe you're looking at in terms of stars?
You know, to become a massive star, you have to appeal to all kinds of different demographics and genres. You know, you've seen with Anthony Joshua, who is a phenomenon, by the way. I'm not saying we'll ever get another one of those, but the ability to reach out to the casual fan base. You know, we've got the most incredible stable in the world. You know, some of those top fighters that have already made it, Anthony Joshua, of course, Katie Taylor, Dimitri Bivol, Jaron Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, Bam Rodriguez, so many more fighters. But the young fighters coming through, even at the lower levels, have so much ability to become stars in boxing. But right now, when you look at the people outside of Joshua and Fury, Conor Benn and Ben Whittaker are two massive stars. The numbers that were generated from Ben Whittaker's performance last week, on the night, but also post-fight, the viral knockout, we haven't seen anything like it. Conor Benn's established now. Ben Whittaker's still rising. Conor Benn's just sold out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium twice. He's coming off a massive win. He's got it all. You know, he's got the style, he's got the look, he knows how to interact across social media. Young fighters should look at Conor Benn and Ben Whittaker, not just in terms of their work ethic in training camp, but also the way they promote themselves as well. It's our job, but it goes a long way to work on yourself as well in that respect. And right now, Conor Benn and Ben Whittaker, outside of AJ and Fury, the biggest stars in British boxing, and now around the world as well. Conor goes to America, gets mobbed. Ben Whittaker's in Japan right now, getting absolutely mobbed. These guys are the future of British boxing, and we're very proud to represent them among a plethora of incredible talent.
What about your media talent?
Well, that needs some work. You know, I mean, actually, when you look at the schedule and you look at the fight cards and you look at the sort of the way that we're dominating the sport globally, what we could do is we could just basically argue the fact that we're just keeping it real.
Yeah.
You know, the Essex Anton deck. Right? I mean, boxing's Essex Anton deck or something like that. And however big we get, do you know what I mean? You two, you're going to fight the calls. Yeah, forget these other...
I told you you'll always be my T-boy.
Yeah, but
Always.
forget these others,
Always.
you know, like Max Kellerman and people like that. Who is just like... You're ready. All you do is have a go at me in the office. He didn't perform very well. Well, let's be honest, that wasn't a very good night of boxing, was it? This is him. I mean, he's like...
He walked in the venue with his sunglasses on.
I know. Completely. He's got brand deals, everything.
Well, I won Diva of the Year at the Matchroom Boxing
Exactly, he
Awards,
did last
so
night.
just playing up
the Mariah
to
Carey Award. He actually won it.
Final one, a bit of news breaking after the press conference yesterday. David Morrell, Callum Smith, when can we see that?
Just that we have an agreement in place with the PBC to stage that show, talking about potential of that of doing it on a ring card or even in Saudi or even in Liverpool as well. It's a fight I'd love to bring to the UK. So just waiting for official confirmation on the date. You'll get that soon. But Callum Smith against David Morrell will be next. And another blockbuster for what is just this year's going to be incredible. You look at January and February already and what's coming up over the next couple of weeks. You've never seen anything like this in boxing.
Well, thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Darren, as well, the Essex Anton deck. I don't know who that makes him. Simon Cattle, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, especially when he's from, Barnet and you're from Scotland or wherever you're from.
Anyway, so much to look forward to here on the global home of boxing, of course, only on DAZN, especially tomorrow night. A special one to be had here in the Principality of Monaco. Monte Carlo live only on DAZN. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Beautiful brutality, savage. Big left hand. It's a huge left hook. Oh, big shots. He's got
Fisher unleashes.
Brilliant work from Mcgrail. The accuracy, the speed.
Fight Night.